What's up, you guys? It's Brad here, and today I'm working on building a Lego modular building. In part number 1 of this video series, I took you step by step from just the base plate to creating this entire Lego building that I have right now. The building has a pretty unique layout. On the front here, we've got a storefront. On the second floor, a nightclub. On the third floor, a very fancy restaurant. And on the fourth floor, we're gonna have a rooftop bar. Of course, just the structure of the building has been created so far. I have not done any of the detailing or anything on the inside, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing here in this video. In addition to the detailing, there is some structural work here as well, because as you can see, the front of the building down here is not quite finished, but for the most part, the rest of the building is pretty much complete. So I do want to make like a little sign or something like that for the nightclub. So I actually went ahead and made this one right here. This is the first time I've ever tried to do lettering on its side there, and I think I might need to expand the T a little bit because it looks a little shorter than the rest of the letters, but very, very excited. It's going to be like the stage nightclub, and I'm thinking it can hang like right here or something like that. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I cannot wait to actually get it attached to the building there. And I'll have to take apart some of the floors because I didn't consider that when I was building. But yeah, this is my first time I've ever tried to do a lettering on the side, and I'm happy with how it turned out, other than that T, which I can quickly fix that. So I finished up the sign here, and I'm very, very happy with how it's looking. I unfortunately could only connect it in one place just because of the way the studs lined up here, but it's okay because you honestly can't really tell, and it's pretty stable being held up this way. I'm gonna have to order a new 1x2 Technic brick on Bricklink though, just because I didn't have any in this nougat color. So I went with a tan, and it's not super noticeable right now, but it's definitely gonna be something that I want to change out in the future. I also went ahead and finished off the front here, which I'm really excited about. So I was able to just shift this down a little, get rid of some of the details in the clock area, and continue with the pattern all the way along there, which I think looked really good. And I finished tiling off the front here as well. I added some brown tiles just to give it a little bit more detail, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the 2 doorways in as well. So I'm gonna go with a different door here than I am right here. This one will probably be like a solid door or something like that, not entirely sure. And then these ones will definitely be glass doors, which I'm thinking maybe like some gold handles or something like that. And then of course, next steps is to work on the bar and all the interiors. Bruh, the brittle brown strikes again. I was trying to remove these tiles from the base plate on the sidewalk, and they just snapped. You've been using the brick separator. All right, now I want to try working on the interior of the club here. This is obviously the second floor of the building. Right here is where the DJ is going to go. I think back here is where the bar is going to go, and then in the middle here is going to be like the dance floor that the elevator opens up into. The inside of the club here is going really well, so I've added a few stands here, which I'm going to put lights on, and I've also built the DJ booth at the very front like I wanted to. So back here, we've got the actual DJ's booth right here, and we've got some speakers right in the window, which I think looks really cool. And then up front here, we have a few more speakers, and I said the stands for all the lights. And then back here, I've added a few more light stands as well, and some more speakers, and I've done the exact same thing on the other side. And then actually behind that, I'm working on building out the bar now, which I'm really excited about. So I'm just taking some inspiration from Google here, figuring out how I want to do it, and very excited for how this is going to look. And this right here is the mock-up I've made of the bar. I'm very, very excited with how it's looking there. I've included a cooler right here at the back with some drinks in it. There's also a keg. You can see some bottles right here, a bunch of cups. We've got beer taps. We've got a tea mug because at one bar my friends and I go to, they have really good tea mugs, and then some other drinks here, a Coke, and even a sink back there in the bar rail. So I've tried to include a bunch of different details here that I'm very excited about, and I built it on this base plate because I'm going to transfer it here into the actual bar. But also I can't forget to add some bar stools here as well. I'm so happy with how this is looking. I've got the bar officially installed here, and I really like how it looks, and I've also created a couple lounge areas here in the club. This is like the booth area where you pay a little bit extra to get the couch and the table. So I added one on each side, and it still leaves a ton of room in the center for a dance floor. I'm undecided at this point if I'm going to add tile or anything to the dance floor or not. I think it would look pretty cool just to break it up a bit, but I might just leave it to make it a little easier. But now what I want to do is go ahead and add a bunch of lights to it as well, like the poles around here, just to make it really look like a club. Update, I started out on the lights here, but then I realized I wanted to have a photo booth here in the club because, again, the one that my friends and I go to and the one that this club is actually based off of, it actually has a photo booth that looks very similar to that. So I've gone ahead and created it here. I've got the backdrop and the camera and then just a little gate. So I did have to unfortunately lose one of the booth areas, but that's okay because I'll probably figure out how I can incorporate it here on the roof or something like that. But yeah, happy with that. Looks now time to add the lights. I'm working on building out the rooftop bar now. I'm making a very, very similar one to the one that I made right here for the nightclub. So very excited how this is going to look. I've shrunk shrunk down the walls a little bit. I think that looks much better. Added the glass, and then over here is where the bar is going to be. So there's going to be like a fancy wine cabinet here, the cooler, and then all the glasses. And then it's a very large bar with stools. They're going to be all the way around. So just like the bar I made for the second floor nightclub, I'm super happy with how this one looks. I've added a few more beer taps actually, just because it is a bigger bar. It is a wraparound. It's got bar stools all the way around, a bunch of drinks scattered everywhere. There's actually 2 ice buckets this time here as well. There's the fridge back here with a bunch of bottles and some glasses, and then there's the more premium wine cabinet and the beer tap right there. So yeah, very happy how this looks. Cannot wait to actually get it on the roof and finish doing the rest of the rooftop bar as well. Also, this is what it looks like when I put the roof on, so very happy with how that's looking. Oh no, I just accidentally knocked over the sign here off the building when I was trying to grab my phone to film. But what I was going to film is the fact that all of the bar is now installed here on the roof, which I'm really excited about. I think it looks really great. And I also added a sectional couch over here. And in this remaining area, I'm planning to add a bunch of tabletops and umbrellas and things like that. I really like this umbrella piece right here, and I actually want to use it in dark blue because they have some on Bricklink, but every seller in Canada only has one, so I'd have to place 3 different orders and place just 3 different shipping. So I might wait and see if I can just get another alternative or something like that, but I think 3 of them would look really good there. And here's what the final roof model looks like. I'm very excited by it. I've got these umbrellas here temporarily, which they're not the best ones. They're a little small for what I wanted, but they'll do the job. Of course, the bar in here looks really awesome, and then the couches and stuff hasn't changed. So I think my final details, obviously, other than adding some Lego minifigures, which I'm going to do at another time, is just to add a few more cups and stuff like that on the tables to make it look more currently lived in. I am so excited for how this building is looking. I think it's just like, I'm super happy with it. This is the first time I have made a mock in a really long time, a building especially, so very happy with the progress. And my final step for this video is going to be doing the restaurant, because I'm going to come back to the storefront at a later time. So I've been looking at fancy restaurants just to get some inspiration, and I've created this like wine cabinet thing. It's going to go over here in the corner. Figured it would just give some nice detail, and then I'm going to try and take some more inspiration from these pictures to do the seating. So I noticed a lot of the fancy restaurants had like dividers and stuff like that, so I've gone ahead and tried and incorporated some here. Not entirely sure how I like the tiles there, but I do like the dividers, so I might just like get rid of the tiles and keep the dividers, because I think they look pretty cool, and maybe add some like plants and water features and stuff like that. So I ended up removing the tiles like I said I wanted to, because I didn't like how they looked, and I added these like railing pieces, and I think that looks much better. I like the gold accents, and because they're curved, they actually just look much nicer on the actual railings themselves. And in addition to adding all that, I also added all of the tables, which I'm really excited about. So I went with brown chairs and a white tabletop, and on each table I added like a little lantern, because a lot of fancy restaurants seem to have those. At the back here I added one massive table for a larger party, and then all these tables have just a variety of different, number of seats at them. I added a few details on the side here, including some flowers, and I'm overall just very happy with how it looks. It's a very fancy restaurant. These windows can open up and really give you the air and stuff like that coming in, so it's really cool. I think this is definitely my favorite view of the restaurant, just because I really like the detailing included. And I can't remember if I brought this up earlier, but I also included the elevator right here. So this actually goes right up to the roof, which you've already seen me do, but I'm really happy with how that turned out as well. So with the exception of the ground floor here, my new Lego mock is fully complete. All 3 floors, again, with the exception of that ground floor there, are completely full of all the details that I wanted to include, being a nightclub here on the 2nd floor, a fine dining restaurant here on the 3rd, and then a beautiful rooftop patio and bar area. So I am very excited how this turned out. This is the staged entertainment complex, which is a lot of fun. So I can't wait to figure out what I'm going to put in that ground floor there. I'm just not entirely sure yet, but very happy with how the top 3 floors turned out. Like, I really knew I had a vision for what I wanted to do here, and I'm really glad that I was able to accomplish it. If any next steps are to happen other than that ground floor, would be to just change the umbrellas up here, just because, as I already mentioned, I don't love them. And then, of course, to change that Technic brick there where the stage side is and just make it matching with the rest of the build. But other than that, I'm really happy with how this building turned out, and I'm so excited for how it's going to look here in the Lego City with the rest of all the buildings here. I've got lots of other plans for the city, so you guys will have to stay tuned. And if you want to hear a little bit more about what I have planned for the city, definitely make sure you check out those Lego City updates. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video and the first part of this series where I built this custom Lego modular building for my Lego City. So anyway, you guys, thanks again for watching. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and stay tuned because I've got lots more great videos coming soon.